ODA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in a very rainy Kansas City, Missouri at venerable GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He'll get this to Bell. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. So much to discuss with the Chiefs and Bills getting together here. The top 2 scoring teams in the AFC last year. Buffalo won their regular season meeting in 2021. That was 38-20 in Week 5. But as we all know, the Chiefs got them back in the playoffs. One of the best games in recent memory. 42-36 in overtime. And a game that many thought helped spawn the new overtime rules for 2022. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, it turned into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27. This defense for the Chiefs, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Second down, another carry for Jackson. And he'll get a couple up to the 29. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in his opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
But we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit. But how about guys who are maulers? Because that's who you want in short yardage situations. And we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
On 2nd down, this is Jackson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 43 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. They've got a new set of downs here.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
They get this to Beckham on the perimeter. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in 3rd in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
2nd and 5 now. Jones. This one caught by Crowder. Touchdown! Jamison Crowder, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Mahomes. Incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Now it's Crowder. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend. But you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here?
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up. And the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge, because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. This is caught inside the 15. A big play here for Buffalo. 56 yards. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money. They run on 1st down with Jackson. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Again, Jackson, but he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Jones will try and run with it. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. So on 4th down, out is Tyler Bass in the Buffalo field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Taken at the goal line, and only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense. They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down. First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Here's Mahomes to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Chiefs at 2-3 here to begin the new season. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, in the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them, and I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Mahomes will try again on second down. And he rifles one incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
The Chiefs on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Mahomes going to throw. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 36. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, 10-0 our score. On 2nd and 12, Mahomes got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. This from 44 yards away. Butker's kick here is good, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jones, and he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd down, this is Jackson. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. And returning it, here's Hamler. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing now is Mahomes. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Andre Sisco. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time. And you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
2nd and 5 now. Jones. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now Jones. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. Mahomes now to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Mahomes going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And got his man complete. He's going to be brought down there in the field of play, and the clock will run, no timeouts. They will not have the chance to bring out the field goal unit. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the 2nd half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
2nd down, another carry for Jackson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 60 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They run again with Jackson. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moore. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 31-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Now Jones just going to bat this forward on the jet sweep. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. Throwing, Jones. Throw left side complete. That's Moore. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They'll try and run for it. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great play there. His 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bills take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards. Now Mahomes on the bootleg. His throw incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Trayvon Walker able to record his 5th sack of the season. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. 51 yards on the punt there. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he can muster only a couple here to the 24. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in the era of the mobile quarterback, but there's still an element of surprise when that position keeps the football, and what a nice gain on that play.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a 1st carry for their fullback. And some room to roam now. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
I remember from my experience as a defender, when the big fella gets the football, you've got to get on him early before he gets a chance to get up ahead of steam, because once he does that, he's going to leave a lot of tacklers in his wake.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll try and run right on the option. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face, because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Needed 13, they got 14 on 3rd down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense, because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. On the give, here comes Jackson. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
That's good for a Kansas City Chiefs.
Now here's Mahomes. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Mahomes firing complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Throw right side is going to be caught by Judy. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good. And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. To throw again on second down. Mahomes. He'll get that complete to Alberto. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. To throw, it's Mahomes. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest. And again, it's Mahomes. This will be caught. Judy. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 12-yard line.
That's good for a Kansas City Chiefs.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. He's got his tight end. It's Alberto Cueto. His second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all three timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to second and 10 from the 25. Now a give, it's Jackson. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Jones finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up. They run with Jackson out of the gun. They find some open field here. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 142 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they
rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Jones to throw. And this one too low.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground incomplete.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And the lead will hold at 10. And that miss should just about write a finish to this one.
Yeah, they needed 2 scores, and they needed that field goal there to be the first one and still give them an opportunity. But now, with the time left on the clock, I think this one's about finished.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Mahomes. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Mahomes to throw it. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Jones. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And the Chiefs are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
One final try for Mahomes. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Bills, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers.